History,
starring Owen,
Alex, Romy,
Danny. Enjoy the show.
Chapter 1, Little Bunny Meatball, as told by Alex.
Once upon a time, there was Bunny Meatball, and it was Halloween. So he went to go flick a sleep, but then there was a zombie in the way of the candy. So he went away into a bus, and then there was poisonous berries on it, and he didn't see it, and he ate all of the poisonous berries, and he died. The end.
I thought we were doing King Arthur.
Chapter 2, The Last Dollar, as told by Owen.
Once upon a time, there was a great king, ruler of Britain. He had an old friend who was a wizard. Can we start that over? Once upon a time, there was a great king of Britain, and he had so many knights that he couldn't even count them all. But there was this other evil villain who was his brother on the far end of the country. So what the evil brother wanted was money. He wanted to be rich. He wanted to be ruler of the world. But the other king says it doesn't matter how much you have. It really only matters, it doesn't matter how much you have, but it just matters if you just use teamwork. So he said that the more you have, the less you need. Well, the more you had, the less you, so let's say that he had a lot of money, but still, it doesn't matter. I mean, everybody could be rich even without money. Well, let's just continue. So, 10 years later, now he was really bored of this. He's been sending a bunch of armies to go to attack him. But he noted the one thing. He decided he was going to trick him. So, later that night, he went out to attack him. But not like that attack. So, he brought some money that was actually not money. It was this empty bag with nothing in it. So, he went to the evil brother on the far side of the forest or the country, and he said, I have some money for you. And when he opened the bag, there was a bunch of spiders, ants, beetles, cockroaches, and they all lived happily ever after. Except for the bad guy, of course. Oh, he just went to this ugly place far away from the world. And everybody lived happily ever after, except for that bad guy. The end.
And what did the bad guy say when he went to that faraway place?
Where am I? Where am I? No! Oh, well. One of my knights see my homework. Oh, well.
Chapter 3, King Arthur, as told by Romy.
Long ago, around, I would say, maybe the 1000s, in Great Britain, there lived a wise king and his wife. They had a son, and they had an assistant, the wizard Merlin. One day, Merlin went to the king and said, I see danger for your life and your wife. Take the baby, Arthur, and hide him in the woods with Sir Edward and his young son Kay. So one day, Merlin said, it is time to choose a new king. He stuck Arthur's father's sword in a stone and said that any man who would like to be king of Great Britain should come and try to pull it out of the stone. Kay heard this news And he and Arthur set out to pull the sword out of the stone. But they were too late. The gates had closed. Many men had tried, and every single last one of them had failed.
This is a so long movie.
Ahem. So, Kay, or I should say Sir Kay, as he had now earned his knight's degree, protecting the king, as there was no king, but when there was a king, he'd be, oh, never mind. Let's just continue on. So, they were setting out for the joust. Arthur as squire, Kay as knight. When Kay got to the field, he told Arthur to go fetch his sword from their tent. Arthur ran back and found the sword shattered and broken in the tent. Kay is going to be angry with me, he thought. So, he remembered seeing the sword in the stone earlier and thought, oh, well, I saw that. Maybe I should go try to take that one. Because he did not know that the wizard Merlin had enmagicked that sword. So, he ran to the building where he saw it. He grabbed the hilt of the sword and pulled with all his strength, and it basically flew out of his hands. It was so easy to pull out. He took the sword and ran back to Sir Kay. When Kay saw it, he ran to Sir Edward and said, look, father, I am the King of Great Britain, for I have pulled the sword out of the stone." "Is this true?" asked Sir Edward, for he was an honest man and did not like lies. "Well," said Sir Kay, who felt as though he shouldn't continue the lie, as it would only get him into more trouble with Merlin and his father. "Actually, it was Arthur who brought it to me." And Arthur turned around to find all of Great Britain, including his father and, yes, Sir Kay, on their hands and knees bowing to him. Well, Arthur, he didn't say anything. He was too shocked. And that's how it all started. Hello again. We're zooming about 5 years into the future, where Arthur first meets Guinevere, this pretty young princess, and they get married, and she becomes Queen Guinevere of Great Britain.
You're married now.
Now, Arthur has a long rectangular table that all his knights sit at. But they always feel like one of the knights at the two ends, are the greatest. So Merlin comes up with a solution. He turns the table into this big round table called the Round Table. And from then on, the knights were known as the Knights of the Round Table. Now, one of the knights, one of the best knights, is named Lancelot, Sir Lancelot. And he and Guinevere fall in love. And Arthur is angry about that, for Guinevere is his wife. So he banishes Lancelot. But soon he will learn his mistake. Guinevere apologizes to Arthur, but from then on, Arthur lets Lancelot and Guinevere hang out. Eventually, it is Arthur's time to go, move on from the world, and Guinevere makes herself a nun. For some reason, I forget why. And Lancelot one day finds her, and they live together, and Arthur moves on to the spirit world. And though Arthur may have gone, the people of Great Britain still believe that one day he will come back to be an even greater king than he was. The end.
And now, bonus features.
History, starring. Okay.
Kid history.
Starring Owen,
Alex,
Romy.
Danny, Romy, Danny, Owen, me, family.
Enjoy the show.
Well, these two swords out will become King Whistle.
You mean King of Great Britain? Hooray!
This is my time to get all the powers.
Say it again.
Quiet on set.
Okay, and then say action.
Action. Whoa. Easy boys. Don't fight. Don't fight. Easy boys. You're married now. Now can I do the bad guy thing?